Got him in this room and he's yelling and screaming and the nurses are trying to hold this kid down. If you've ever tried to hold a 6-year-old kid down, it's impossible. There's no papoose, okay? So they take us and they put us over in the corner. I'm over here in the corner and I'm watching this thing unfold and I'm like, oh my goodness. And so we've got 6 nurses trying to hold this little kid down. And interesting, you'd think that that the machete would have impaled his liver, but it was just a little laceration on the top of his head, covered with blood, screaming. You know how kids are. By the way, it's good when kids scream when they're hurt. If they don't scream, it's bad. But anyway, different issue. But this kid was screaming, and we were all over the corner, and my legs were shaking. And Dr. Perez came in the room. He had been taking a nap, and he got up, and he saw the kid, put on his gloves, and began to kind of, close the cut. And he looked back over in the corner of the room and saw us kind of huddled like the Hebrew children over in the corner, just kind of scared to death, as this kid screaming. And he looked at me, and he said, he pointed at me, he said, Carlos, ayúdame. And so I'm trying to think, What'd he say? Because I'm not real good at my Spanish. Ayúdame. What are you saying? And then he took his hand and he pointed like this. He says, Carlos, ayúdame. In other words, he's saying, in Spanish, he's saying, come help me. And here it is. I'm a medical student. Okay? I'm not a medical student. I'm a college student, okay? So, first of all, there is no YouTube videos, okay? You can't just look at this. I've never seen anybody close a laceration. I've never read the book. I've never been to a class. And I can tell you all about the Krebs cycle, probably, which I can't even remember now. But, I can tell you all that stuff. But I didn't know anything about this. This was way out of my league. And all of these things began to race through my mind. Man, I am not equipped to do this. I am not adequate. I'm not trained to do this. But yet, Dr. Perez was going, Carlos, ayúdame. And I was frozen. I didn't know what to do. And for some reason, I took that first step. And I went over there and began to work with this doctor. And Dr. Perez kind of showed me how to hold the needle and how to use, go with the curve of the needle and how to tie the knots and all those things. Man, I thought, and I kind of thought I was getting pretty good at this. The kid kind of went to sleep and he kind of stopped moving around. And man, I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. And then all of a sudden, after we finished, Dr. Perez looked at the kid and he said, Carlos, sácalos. So, what does that mean? I'm trying to figure this out in Spanish, and he says, you mean take it out. Sácalos means to take them out. I looked at the kid's face, and he looked like Frankenstein, By the way, this is why we call it the practice of medicine, okay? But here's the point. And here's the point, the thing that I learned. That step set me on a path towards a trajectory, that God's grace was working in my life in a moment that I was not even aware of it. And so I want to just encourage you today. God is working out a purpose and a destiny for your life. And so just kind of realizing too, and as I look back, I think, what if? What if I would have never took that first step? I mean, some of you have mentioned today that you're in the middle of a book, kind of bogged down in the middle of a book. And I just want to encourage you to keep taking those steps. What grace tells us, okay, is that God is in control and that God, like Dr. Perez, is calling us and He's saying, ayúdame. Come help me. Okay? I've got this figured out. I just need you to take the steps that you need to take today. And so as you think about that and you take those steps, I just want to encourage you that grace is there all the way. Trust steps out in faith even when the way seems blurry. Like that slide right there. It's a little blurry today, isn't it? But just trust steps out. And so I want to encourage you to think about this, that your life as a writer, and this is a big picture talk, just take the next step. And when God initiates and gives you an opportunity, you may feel inadequate, okay? But it's not about your adequacy. It's about God's adequacy and what He can do and what He's purposed through you. It's been a pleasure being here today. Been a real pleasure. I just want to encourage you just to keep it going.